Reinvention is the key to overcome new challenges and keep growing. Welcome to South Summit 2020. A new networking platform with a revolutionary live TV format to access and connect from any device, anytime, and anywhere. Join South Summit 2020 and multiply your business opportunities.
Good morning, and welcome to our third day at South Summit 2020, an edition where we are more connected than ever. Why, you may be wondering? Well, we are broadcasting from this fabulous TV set at La Nave in Madrid, but also from New York City, Singapore, Buenos Aires, Milan, London, Barcelona, San Francisco. So, this year, we are stronger and more global than ever. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Helena Diez Fuentes. That's Helen 10 Fountains in English and in Instagram. And I'm thrilled to be your host on this stage today to bring you the Tourism and Travel Track, hosted by Google for Startups. Google for Startups' mission is to give startups access to the Google products, connections, and the best practices they need to grow their businesses. So, thank you so much, Google, for hosting this track, which is actually a classic at South Summit and one of people's favorite. But this year, due to the coronavirus outbreak, it's not exaggeration to say that the travel and tourism sector is in crisis. According to Mobility Market Outlook, the global revenue for the travel and tourism industry will be an estimated $400 billion in 2020, a decrease of around 40% from the previous year. But, as we have heard many times before, in any crisis lies an opportunity. Who will adapt successfully to this violent shakeup? Most likely it will be dynamic, innovative startups, and we have some of the best in the world for you today. But before we meet them, and to start this track, we have a very special guest, not only because she's a dear friend of South Summit, but also because she's one of the most influential Spanish fashion designers of all times. She has created her own colorful universe that covers much more than fashion, from tiles to biros to suitcases or perfumes. I guarantee with great confidence that almost everyone has, or at least has wanted to have, one of her designs in their wardrobes. In 2017, she was awarded with the prestigious Premio Nacional de Diseño de Moda by the Spanish Ministry of Education, Culture and Sports, and she keeps disrupting the sector and imagining the future, as she has done all her life. So, we want her to tell us how she does it. I'm talking obviously about Ágata Ruiz de la Prada. Ágata, welcome. How are you? There's a huge round of applause. Please sit here, Ágata. Welcome. Welcome to your home, because you've been coming to South Summit almost every year.
Yes. First of all, I want to congratulate all the team, because that is a miracle for me. I see that is the best organization I have seen ever. I'm very proud of being part of the team of the South Summit.
Yes, you've always been, and we've created this for you.
And I am a big fan of the creator, Maria Benjumea, which is a star.
Fun and friend.
She's the best. She's the best friend. She has so much energy.
I know. Well, you can't...
I remember when the first time she began to tell me about startups, and I say that's going to be a disaster. and how that dream has become such a big reality, no?
I know, and there's no black here in this stage. Have you noticed? Just for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we have Ágata and say fashion and travel and tourism, why? But fashion and travel...
Some years ago, everybody was saying the only important thing for people is traveling. The young people, everybody, they want to spend money only in traveling. So for me, who used to take a plane every 2 or 3 days, so I used to take more than 100 planes in a year, or 100 trips in a year. At the beginning, when they stopped the airport, I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe the airport was going to be closed for 1 day. And when it began 1 day, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, it was incredible, no? So the tourism has changed so much that we don't know how to reactivate it. In the last times, there was signs of that something was happening, because at the beginning, a long time ago, people used to travel for buying things, but they began to make your luggage little and little and little, and you have to pay, and you cannot. So it was becoming so difficult to buy when you travel, no? I've been last week I came yesterday from Paris. I've been 5 days in Paris, and the shops are destroyed there, no?
Yeah.
Because they are 70% down the sales, because Paris was the paradise for tourism buyers, no? And now there is not tourism at all, no? So I think it's the moment to reinvent the idea of tourism and the idea of how to buy at the same in other places.
You're quite an expert in reinventing, and having, as I was saying, you were quite disruptive from the beginning. You've always gone ahead of the trend. In this sense, how do you see from your experience as a designer, a fashion designer, that is so, as you were saying, so related to traveling? Not only designers travel to show your collections, but also, as you were saying, tourists travel for fashion tourism. What do you think could be done to...
We have been speaking 20 years about the web.
Yeah.
And now the web is the only solution we have to all of our problems, no? For me, from the beginning of the confinement, I have been more active than ever in my life.
Yeah.
I have spent my day in the television and in the social media. And I think this year my little company will do the same that last year.
Which is?
Which is a miracle, because the day that the coronavirus began, I thought I was going to, I thought I cannot pay anybody, I'm going bankruptcy, I'm going to be dead. But I began to fight, and through the television, through explaining everybody what I was doing and all that, I began to attract people to
your web. But do you think that fashion tourism or fashion traveling is finished and people are going to go into the web, the new challenge, that your channel as a designer is?
Travel can never finish, because it's one of the best things that you can have in your life, no? But we have to do it in a more selective way, no?
Yeah.
First of all, we were used to do a lot of quick travels, and we didn't appreciate them, no? So now, if we travel, we have to appreciate that, no? The last week in Paris, it was like a dream, because everything was empty, and so you can see. So it was a miracle. I was crying to see the Notre Dame and to see everything. It was the most beautiful city, I think Paris and Venice are the most beautiful cities in the world.
Yeah.
And also I've been in Sevilla. Well, it's very difficult to stop me.
Yeah, I know. Actually, we are running out of time. Agatha, it's such a shame, because TV, we have even less time than when we were live. Just tell me your plan, your next highlight for the future. Let's leave on a positive note. Tell us what Agatha Ruiz de la Prada's next
we have to travel in a better way, more exclusive way. We have to thank God for the good things of traveling. We have to take advantage of all I've been in all the best museums. I have been in a Louvre 2 days ago, no? Nobody can stop you. You have to do that in a responsible way. Agatha,
just a short message, a tweet, 140 characters, come on. of your message, your
You cannot
homework?
stop. You can do it. It's impossible that you have to
Find another way.
take care of yourself, of the others, but don't stop. Don't let this thing to stop you.
You can see Agata Ruiz de la Prada doesn't stop despite the confinement, despite the coronavirus. She's been in Paris, she's working, she has new collections, so we'll expect to see
And
you.
I have any antibodies, which is a miracle because I'm all the day seeing people, I don't know, but I maintain my distances.
Agata, we'll be looking forward to seeing your next creation from
And
your...
congratulations another time because it's impressive. Better than ever, your South Summit.
Yes, yes, I think. So we'll see her next year in 2021. Thank you, Agata Ruiz de la Prada, for coming to your house, South Summit. We couldn't start in a better way with one of our most important celebrities in fashion and travel and tourism. But the heart of South Summit's edition is meeting the 100 international startups that made it to the final startup competition. So before I introduce them to the first one of them in this track, I'd like to walk you through the competition's dynamic. Today we have 10 startups in this track, which is divided in 3 sections, 4 in travel, 3 in tourism, and 3 in accommodation and hospitality. They will do a 3-minute pitch, and we'll have half a minute, 30 seconds, to answer 1 or 2 questions from the jury that will be selecting, both the physical and the virtual jury will be selecting the 2 winners from this track later this afternoon. And they will do it according to 5 criteria: innovation, scalability, team, viability, and investability. And we have a top jury for this track. Let me introduce them as usual. I'm going to start with the physical jury because they came all the way here. So it's a pleasure to have them with us. Thank you for coming. We have Gonzalo Velasco, Business Plan and Innovation Director from Ferrovial. Thank you, Ferrovial. We have Bárbara Ozores, Head of Google for Startup Spain. Thank you for the track as well, Bárbara. We'll see her a bit more later. We have Ignacio Tovar, or Nacho Tovar, Head of Innovation and Digital Transformation on Iberia, or Iberia. And we have Alejandro Gutiérrez from the United Nations World Tourism Organization. I'm not going to say this again. From now on, it's UNWTO, which I think is even longer. There they are, our 4 physical jury, which will have priority to ask. And we're going to walk on this side, and we have another 14, 15 members of the jury. Hello, everybody. Can you see me? You can wave, 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 wave. Hey, hey, they are. Hello, I see a lot of friends, Let me introduce them, bear with me, because we have with us, oh, my dear friend, Sonia Fernandez, partner from Kivo Ventures, Lorena Herrera, Head of Digital Marketing at Telefónica, Abu Qasim, founder of Juicy and Angels. We have Antonio Jiménez de Córdoba, partner at Seaya, Pauline Roux, she's partner at Elaya Partners, Mercetel, a good friend, general partner and co-founder at Neco Capital, Diego Montes, venture capital investor at Plug and Play, Tech Center, Josep Guitar, investment analyst at Sabadell Venture Capital, Carlos Moser, investment manager at InverReady, Venkat Kondragunta, the associate at ProFounders, and Susan Chiu, head of venture at Amadeus. Is everybody there? Say hello, everybody. Raise your hand, raise your hand. Did I miss anyone? Did I miss anyone? Hope not. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I'm not repeating this list again. I'll be speaking to them in a minute. So, here's our physical jury. There's our virtual jury. And we're going to start with our first startup. Traveling the world isn't always a walk in the park. Not for any of us. It takes a lot of planning and organizing. Add to that a limiting disability, and travel can seem like an impossible task. Our next startup from South Korea has set out to make common travel, the difficulties for the disabled, a thing of the past. Here with us, we have Gilbok Lee. He's the manager of Amuse Travel. Are you there, Gilbok? Hello, Gilbok.
Hello, this is Gilbert Lee. I'm a director of management and planning team in Amuse Travel. Well, how often do you travel? According to the data from UNWTO in 2019, the market size of international tourism exports in the world is about $1,781 billion. In Asia, it's about $485 billion. In Korea, it's about $26 billion. Then, can you guess how big is the market size of accessible tourism? According to the WHO, The disabled is accounted for about 15% of world population, 26% of US population, and 5% of Korea population. Moreover, as the data shows, the population aged over is growing faster than others, and the largest increase within Eastern and Southeastern Asia is foreseen in South Korea. If you see all these numbers, you can easily guess that the demand for accessible tourism will grow rapidly. But the problem is that there is lack of travel information of barrier-free travel. So we started to think about the solution to solve the problems. The first solution is offering accessible travel packages, and the other one is collecting map data of tourist attractions. Our accessible travel packages consist of wheelchair lift bus, barrier-free travel and tourist attractions, professional guides, and accessible hotel rooms. It is not only for the disabled, but also for the seniors. However, to make accessible travel packages, we need accessible raw data of tourist attractions. So we started to collect the data of accessible routes. So far, we have collected more than 10,000 POI data, and our tour guides collect raw data while having a tour, and then process it into valuable data like accessible map. The data we collect and the map we make is not only for commercial, but also to the public. And we have sold it to the several government institutes. And we classified our competitors in this market into 4 sections. As you can see, compared to our competitors, we collect and analyze accessible-related data of tourist attractions, focusing on accuracy and sustainability. Until the end of this year, we will have provided accessible tour service for totally 10,055 customers. And we are planning to entering a new market next year. We've already done with some 2D accessible maps. At the same time, we have developed the system for the map, and our goal is to provide international tourist-oriented map service. So far, we have been invested from 2 startup accelerators. We are on the seed round, and we are waiting for the Series A investment. Thank you for listening, and please feel free to ask any question.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Gilbert, right on time. You had 2 extra seconds. I'm going to come here just to remind the jury, especially the virtual jury, that in order to ask your question, you have to raise your hand so we can see you. You are a lot, despite having this wonderful, huge screen. Raise your hand whenever you want to ask a question, and then we'll put you in touch with the entrepreneur on that other side of the set. The same for our physical jury, which I can see very clearly from here. Nevertheless, are there any questions for our entrepreneurs? Remember and remind our entrepreneurs that you have 30 seconds to answer each question, whether it's 1 or 2 or more. Usually we don't have time for more, but there you go. 30 seconds to ask the question for all entrepreneurs, and our jury has to raise the hand. Any questions for Amuse Travel? Anyone for South Korea? Let me see our physical jury. Oh, I think we see, I believe, yes, Susanna Chiu. Go ahead with your question from Amadeus. Susanna, you're going to fly onto this screen to ask Gilbert directly. Yes. Gilbert, 30 seconds to answer, remember.
Sure. My question is first, congratulations to the team. I think we need as many startups and entrepreneurs to help the community that needs assistance to get onto the road. The question here for you would be, how much effort do you need to start a new country? So in terms of scalability, can you describe how can you scale across so many countries and so many roles around the world? Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jia from the Overseas Department of Amuse Travel. For the question, actually, we plan to access to Southeast Asia market next year. From now, we are having tour only in South Korea because we need to have more measurement before the tour. So for the tour, international tour, we will have a partnership with the local tour operator company who can provide us the accessible facility or the accessible local tour. That's how we connect with the local tour company and how we do with them sending the Korean traveler to
that
the
was
other
30 seconds already. Sorry, Amuse Travel. 30 seconds. I gave you another 10 extra seconds, I have to confess. Are you happy with that answer, Susanna? Yes? She's happy. Susanna Chiu, thank you for that, from Amadeus. Are there any questions Any other questions for our team? I believe we have to continue. Thank you to Amadeus and, of course, to Amuse Travel. We're going to continue with a conversation. For our next conversation, it is a pleasure to invite onto our stage the Sales Director for Corporates at CaixaBank. CaixaBank has been supporting entrepreneurs for many years, especially through their Entrepreneur 21 Awards since 2007. I know them well as I have been the MC at these awards, as well as several Day One Innovation Summits by CaixaBank around all of Spain. So let's welcome Mar Santana. Mar, welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Good to see
you here in Madrid at La Nave. So, Mar, I am very familiar with La Caixa and with the Entrepreneur 21 Awards and Day One Summit, but I'm sure a lot of people are a bit confused. Can you give us more details about what is Day One and what are the summits about?
Of course. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Day One is our division for technological companies and startups and their investors. It was created in 2017 and it has 3 business centers in Barcelona, Madrid and Valencia, and 2 business managers in Malaga and Bilbao. It has a comprehensive program to give a solution and to become the financial partner of the innovation economy. And it has a team of managers who are qualified not just to be just a simple bank advisor, but they are certified to assess entrepreneurs and also to understand their special situation, because they spend the whole day talking to entrepreneurs, trying to facilitate their liquidity, and of course they are really aware of the special situation this kind of business has.
So the relationship of Day One with the Entrepreneur 21 Awards
is because Day One is the unit inside CaixaBank that organizes with ENISA the Emprendedor 21 Awards.
Now that you talk about ENISA, we have to send a big kiss to all the ENISA team, especially to José Bayón, the CEO, always supporting the entrepreneurs, the Spanish entrepreneurs. So tell us about the next edition of the awards.
Yes, as you already know, the Emprendedor 21 was launched for first time in 2007. So it has been more or less 14 years supporting this entrepreneurial ecosystem. And this year, in the coming weeks, we are going to launch the 14th edition. And with such innovation, for example, that we are going to focus on the travel, tourism, and hotel sector, because we are aware that in the situation we are living now, they need our support to reactivate within the new normal we are living.
Which I believe actually CaixaBank has given a lot of loans to this sector in particular. Is it right?
Yes, that's right. We have been the first bank in facilitating not only liquidity, but also for loan projects, and also to launch a wide range of measures to facilitate the transition in these COVID times.
Okay, so we are looking forward then to discover a bit more of the tourism and hotel sector in the 14th edition of Entrepreneur 21 Awards. That is going to be launched soon, and we don't know when this is going to happen, or the entrepreneurs can already send their, once it's launched, they can participate. I guess all the information is in the web.
Don't worry at all, because we will do properly. So we'll launch a proper campaign. We will contact with the main role players in this business. And of course, we will have to look for an approach to trade, tourism and hotels, but since a technological approach. So we want to reactivate the sector, but from a technological and innovative point of view.
Excellent. So if you're an entrepreneur in the hotel, tourism, travel industry, hotel especially, with a technological approach, stay tuned for CaixaBank's announcement of the 14th edition of Day One Summit and the Entrepreneur 21 Awards. And looking forward to your news.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for your support and to give us this opportunity to share with you all our initiatives.
Remember, stay tuned at Day One Innovation Summit 2021.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mar Santana from CaixaBank. I'm going to accompany you to leave the set because we have to continue.
Thank you so much, Elena.
Thank you, Mar. With our next startup, we're going to our second startup of the day. It's coming from the United Kingdom, all over the world. Billed as the Netflix of travel by The Telegraph and featured on CNBC as the future of travel, our next startup is the world's first travel subscription service. They are removing all the hassle from travelers by turning 10 hours of planning and research into 60 seconds, yes, whilst at the same time leverage customers' data to create a win-win situation for customers and hoteliers. In fact, you could have booked your next holiday break in the time that it took me to introduce them. So let's find about them from Gregory Jenny, the founder and CEO of Be Right Back. Welcome.
Hey everyone, my name is Gregory Jenny and I'm the founder and CEO of Be Right Back, the world's first travel subscription service. And let me start off by telling you a little story. If you think about the travel industry, the process of booking travel really hasn't changed in 20 years. And the onus is still on the customer to do all the heavy lifting. But if you think about travel from the consumer's perspective, the only thing that I care about is going on my trip and sharing my experiences. Yet the reality is that it takes 10 hours to research and book a weekend break, usually spread across a number of weeks. And this research process has been carved into multiple billion-dollar industries with brands competing for my attention. And whilst I'm engaging with all these brands, trying to figure out where to go and where to stay, flight prices are rising. And this is preventing me from traveling to the places I want to go to. So that's where BRB comes in. By taking the entire purchase journey out of the equation and shortening it down to one simple question: when do you want to go? And our subscription model is incredibly simple. You pay £50 per month. For that, you get 3 trips per year, flights and hotels included. And each destination and trip is tailored to your personal preferences. And this is how it works. You create your account and set your travel preferences, you choose your plan, and you create your trip in less than 60 seconds. And 1 month before travel, we send you a postcard to reveal your destination and send you personal recommendations. So you go with BRB and have an amazing experience. And here's the thing with an amazing trip. You want to do it again straight away. And with BRB, you can do just that in less than 60 seconds, the minute you get home. So we've turned something quite painful into the most convenient and exciting lifestyle brand for travelers, which has real traction. We've already sent customers to over 70 destinations across Europe and are well on track to deliver 40,000 trips over the next 3 years. And this traction has led to press across some of the leading media publications in the world. And press is great, but what really matters to us is that our customers love us, with 96% of them rating their BRB experience as excellent or great. And even during the COVID pandemic, when other OTAs saw their customer ratings plummet, we kept ours high, thanks to our financial protection and the uniqueness of our business model. But we're not just disruptive on the consumer side. On the supply side, we are flipping the entire OTA model on its head. Gone are the days of hotels marketing their rooms through a range of distribution channels with no guarantee on occupancy. BRB fills hotels. We've got guaranteed customers traveling with us. We have complete opacity of travel sourcing, and we can leverage data and machine learning to group customers, which allows us to negotiate better rates by guaranteeing hotels higher occupancy. And over time, we know exactly what to sell and when to sell it. For example, leveraging your Spotify data to upsell your concert tickets because we know your favorite band is going to play there that weekend. And all of this is allowing us to disrupt a £63 billion industry in the UK alone, one that's grown 29% since 2012. And we've assembled an amazing team behind this business. I've personally spent 10 years in the travel sector, and Sam, our head of operation, has delivered over 45,000 trips over the last 5 years. And we're backed by leading entrepreneurs in travel, including Michelle Tarry, former president of Hertz International. So we'd be right back, the most exciting lifestyle brand for travelers. Thank you.
Thank you, Gregory. You run out of time. Be right back. He says, our customers love us. Of course they love you. We love you too. That's why you're here at the South Summit Final. I believe we have some questions from our virtual jury. Yes, I see Abu Qasim from Josie Angels. Go ahead. We're going to fly you first to that other screen so you can ask your question directly to Greg. Greg, you remember, have 30 seconds to answer to our jury's questions. There you go.
Great presentation. I've just got a question around the perceived delivery responsibility. So as a customer, I perceive that BRB would be responsible for some of that delivery. How do you ensure that the customer has a consistently good experience in their travel?
Thank you. That's a great question. So, we handpick every single hotel that is part of our portfolio and we work very closely with them. So on that perspective, we ensure that every single property that is on our books is effectively of the highest quality possible, ensuring the best possible stay for our customers. And we get feedback from our customers. So any hotel that doesn't deliver a high level of quality for our customers is effectively taken off our books.
Excellent. Thank you, Greg. Are you happy with that, Abu Qasim? Abu? Yes, you're happy. Remember, jury, especially the virtual jury, you have to raise your hand if you have any questions. I can see you there, but I have to go to the physical jury because Nacho Tobar from Iberia has a question for Greg. Whenever you want, Nacho.
Hi, how are you? First of all, congrats for the projects. I think it is amazing. So I'm the head of innovation of Iberia, so an airline guy. And I think every single airline in the world is assessing this kind of subscription models. So what would be your answer in the kind of relationship and agreement that you have or you want to have with airlines in all this, your value proposition?
Well, what's interesting about what we're doing is we can effectively guarantee occupancy ahead of time. So like I said, we have complete opacity of sourcing. We decide where customers are going and where they're traveling based on their travel preferences. And what it means for us is we can work with both airlines and hoteliers across the industry to guarantee them occupancy ahead of time. And that makes, I think, for a very compelling conversation from a commercial standpoint in terms of being able to have direct relationship with a various range of airlines, whether it's TAP Portugal for Portugal, where we can guarantee occupancy and seats on specific planes, but 6 to 12 months ahead of time.
Excellent. That was right on time. Thank you so much, Nacho, our Iberia man, you say, our plane man. So we have another question, I know, from the virtual jury. Diego Montes, I know, but can you keep it for the next startup? Because we run out of time, but I see you, I promise you have priority for our next round of questions, okay? Because now we have prepared a conversation with 3 guests and a very special moderator. She is the Director of Innovation, Digital Transformation and Investment at the United Nations World Tourism Organization, which I said I wasn't going to say again, but don't ever trust a woman dressed in blue. And she's a dear member of South Summit, our South Summit family. So please, let's welcome Natalia Bayona. Nati, where are you? Here she is, Natalia. Come back to your home. Well done. Welcome, and lovely to see you again.
It's my pleasure to celebrate today innovation and digital transformation in my passionate industry, that is the tourism industry.
Of course, Natalia is all over the world, but today she's here with us, back to her roots. And I'm going to pass her the microphone because she has special guests. She's going to introduce us, and she's going to ask them a few questions. They are all in the cyberspace, so go ahead, Natalia.
That's amazing, and I would like to thank, of course, to Maria and to the South Summit team for this wonderful thing. As you know, innovation and tourism is not about leisure and about going through vacations. It's about events, meetings, incentives, and this is a revolution, and this is the perfect example about how we can innovate to create better events, better added value knowledge in order to empower tourism again. Today, we have the pleasure to have 3 startups that now are in their process to become scale-ups. So I have to say that we have here today one super guest because he won the first global startup competition of the UNWTO, refunded. Sif, our wonderful Israeli entrepreneur, is here today. Second of all, we have a woman. As you know, tourism is the most important employer for women and youth. So bringing a young woman today that is working with artificial intelligence to develop safe travels in the US is more than crucial. So Jessica from Airside as well. And last but not least, we have a Spanish talented venture from Mallorca. That is my dear friend Carlos Sendra from Mabrian Ventures, where he's a data powerful mind that is working with governments in order to create a better future on tourism. So let's start this venture.
Natalia, we have them on your right on the virtual set. Hello, everyone.
So good morning, the 3 of you. It's my pleasure to see you again. So Siv, I want to ask you a question. How do you think new technologies can help to recover the tourism sector? How do you see this?
Hi, Natalia. What a pleasure to be with you today here, and thank you all for having me. We're going through a crazy period of time, of course, and tourism is traveler suffering heavily. But there's an opportunity now, and the opportunity is to look at all the points of friction, to look at different points where changes have not been made and where processes are stuck and tourists are not having a good experience, having difficulties with traveling, with enjoying their vacations, and thinking how to kill this friction with digitalization. And there are so many opportunities out there. Of course, I will give one short example from our life as Refunded. Refunded, of course, is revolutionizing and digitalizing the world of VAT refunds for tourists or tax refunds. I'm not going to go into all of the details, but I think that all of you know that this isn't working. The long queues at the airports, the difficulties, the fact that small, medium businesses are not involved, the fact that travelers don't really get their money back, and the reality that a lot of money isn't going back to the travelers, and that money is not going back then into the economy. So this area has not changed from the 90s, and this is government regulated. So here is an opportunity, and today what we're doing as Refunded during this time is talking to governments, of course, all over Europe very, very extensively, because digitalizing this process will really open up a solution, will allow small and medium businesses in rural areas to be able to participate, which is not the case today, will support travelers so that they will be able to spend more and enjoy spending more. And that's, of course, something that everybody wants once tourism is back, and support the government with digital solutions that will give them data, that will help fraud control, that will shorten the queues at the airport so that people can enjoy themselves. Again, I'm being short. This is just one example, but these areas of friction exist in different places, and now is the opportunity to go out and fix them.
That's amazing to know. And of course, the responsibility of recovered tourism today, of course, it's not only about governments, as you said. Of course, it's a responsibility of the whole ecosystem. So now I would like to give the floor to our dear Jessica, that is working with the US, with the Department of State, to recover tourism there. So Jessica, how artificial intelligence is helping us to create a better future, a better understanding, and of course, a more safe travel journey?
Hi, Natalia. Yeah, thank you for inviting Airside to participate today. So a little bit about our company. We're a digital identity company, and how we're using our technology to help with recovery efforts is that we can put control of individuals' identity information digitally in their hands on their mobile device, which I think is really important to recovery, in that the industry is looking for solutions that are both touchless, that are removing choke points and lines throughout airports, hotels, and other parts of the journey, and so on. And so there's sort of a safety and security that we need to be aware of on behalf of our passengers and our travelers. And this is providing them safety and security, both from avoiding crowding that may spread COVID, but also from the perspective of this is a user-controlled, consent-driven digital identity. And so we are allowing the traveler to maintain security and privacy of their information as well.
Thanks a ton. So what you're saying is that, of course, we have to use data. We have, of course, to give the privacy and to follow the rules in order to travel again safe. But, of course, with the use of artificial intelligence, we can help, of course, to analyze better what type of tourist do we want, and of course, that can help us to create a better understanding about marketing and, of course, about giving the top messages to those prospect tourists. So that's wonderful, because I want to connect your thoughts with Marian and with Carlos. He's an expert on data, so he's a data-driven specialist. So, Carlos, what's your advice today? How big data can help us to develop and to take better decisions on the tourism sector. Now more than ever, tourism needs strategic thoughts and more public-private leadership. How big data can help us to create that mutual understanding.
Thank you, Natalia. Good morning, buenos dias. Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity of participating on this summit. Yeah, well, I will start with something that I always have in mind, that it's data by itself is overrated, right? And this is something curious to be said by a big data company, isn't it? But it's the reality. We work to transform data into information, which is the key point, right? We transform data into information and then drive that information into specific decisions, right? This is something that we are fighting for the last 5 years already, right? And so the new situation, it's kind of helping us to defend all that message, right? The managers, the destination and company managers are nowadays facing a completely new reality. And this means that they cannot count on the previous experiences, their know-how, the historical data, all that normally is being used for making decisions anymore, since the new reality, no one knows how it's going to be, right? So the unique way to understand the tourism dynamics and try to anticipate a little the next trends is by having update data with a global approach, which is what we are trying to do by analyzing different types of data in a global way, right? And one of the important aspects you mentioned is the collaboration between the private and the public sector. I think this is key, and this is something that we have been defending since also a lot of years, but now it's even more important, right? It's key to have the same goals, the same approach, the same objectives to recover the tourism, right? It's not about recovering one business, it's about recovering the tourism itself in a global way, and it's specifically important to be aligned between private and public sector, and it can come together by sharing big data analytics tools as we do.
That's amazing. Thanks a ton to the three of you. Of course, you are ambassadors of tourism and technology, and I would like to leave this conversation by a final message. Technology and innovation is the key driver for a more sustainable tourism. If we have a golden opportunity today. It's one of the most hurt economies, is one of the most hurt sectors, but we have the golden opportunity to rebuild tourism the right way. To rebuild tourism the right way is to include sustainability, innovation, and youth empowerment in our new normality. Why? Because that will empower a lot our youth and talented minds to recover again and to bring top solutions, to bring big data, to bring artificial intelligence, and to bring new technologies into the tourism sector, to lead by example, and of course, to have a better future and a more sustainable sector. So thanks a lot. It's amazing to be here today. So
Natalia, once South Summit, you'll always be South Summit, no matter if you are a UN, WTO, or wherever in Mars. Thank you to Natalia. Rebuilding the tourism the right way. So we have to continue. Thank you to your special guest. We'll see you next year in 2021 here at La Nave, hopefully, or who knows, in the cyberspace, because we have to go on to our next startup, number 3, coming from the United States. When students travel with their university abroad, a great responsibility falls on their institutions and its stakeholders to keep students safe. For some, it will be their first real experience alone abroad. And who doesn't remember what that was like? Let's just say there's temptation to party. So the university or program provider assumes the risk, but how do they keep track of what their students are up to and care for them properly? Our next startup understands the issue and presents a solution, a student-centric risk management, who is going to be told us everything about it, Duff Archie, the COO of Off We Go. Welcome, Archie.
Hello, my name is Duff Archie. I'm the co-founder and the COO of Off We Go, increasing travel safety adherence through social connection, comparison, and gamification. The key issue at the heart of all this is the lack of student voice and engagement with safety and security resources that are put forth by their above stakeholders that are necessary to maintain the personal safety of the student and the duty of care of the sponsoring institution. In fact, nearly 70% of students don't report their side trips or independent travel while on school-sponsored programs. Thus, Off We Go. We bridge all the gaps with a student-focused experience created by and for students traveling. We created a fun and engaging platform for planning travel, which teaches and drives proper engagement with safety controls, and then send this data to aid in the organization's decision and policy-making processes while saving insurance and assistance companies time, money, and effort in their policy and case management processes. Once onboarded, students scroll right and left, browsing various cities, and are queued into groups of students interested in going to the same place at the same time. Students are then able to share information such as their favorite cafes, museums, restaurants, etc., alongside safety tips and tricks. We also partner with leading travel assistance and insurance companies to provide vital safety info and alerts to all students who travel through Off We Go. On the admin side, by solving students' travel anxieties first, we're able to then incentivize them to submit this required travel data needed to keep them safe. Our goal is to provide these institutions and organizations and international education with higher quality data and new insights into the travel habits of their students. Off We Go also applies Yu-Kai Chow's gamification principles, this Octalysis framework, so that proven principles that have worked for Duolingo, Noom, Strava, Forest, etc., can help transform travel safety adherence while also generating valuable data. On the business side of things, we primarily operate on yearly or bi-yearly renewing contracts with our organizations or institutions. However, with COVID complications and higher ed in disarray, our recent focus has been in direct-to-consumer, via parent or student themselves, and we've shown willingness to pay in our focus groups of at least $25 a month, up to $360 per year. We also gain commission from the affiliates and partner services utilized, and we also see ways of monetizing our partnerships with travel insurance providers with a user-directed data share to augment their any mutual customers. And yes, we are in the international ed market, but also see ways to branch into the corporate leisure space and actually have interest from some companies in that space right now with partnership discussions with a 401k consultancy going right now. In terms of our team, John and myself have lots of extensive experience in the international ed market and are complemented with Vasu's and Neil's technical expertise and have a mix of UX and technical interns from the below colleges and are complemented on our advising team from both the travel tech and ed tech markets to really help us branch these markets together. In terms of our competitors, our closest one is Teradata. However, many of their features get lost in translation and often have heard complaints of being antiquated or hard to use and require a lot of onboarding time. Across the board, there's low engagement with travel tracking, and Off We Go is a student-centric, tailored to both the wants and needs of the students and the admins. Finally, we've seen an increase in bounds of leads at the beginning of COVID and have named 2020's Go Abroad's Innovative Technology finalist. So thank you, and if you want to be involved, please reach out.
Okay, thank you, Dafa. You took a couple of extra seconds there, you naughty one. It's okay, I'm coming here to our virtual jury because I left them with their hands up. Remember, if you want to ask, you have to raise your hand so myself or the production team can see you. There's 15 of you at least. No questions? Okay, well, we continue then with our next startup coming from Italy. The next startup brings us a new way to travel. Make friends and live a life-changing experience. They put together solo travelers eager to discover the world, meet new cultures, and make new friends. If you are Thelma, they will find your Louis, and if you're lucky, Brad Pitt too. I mean, dreaming is free, and it doesn't hurt. But to tell us everything about it, we have with us Íñigo Balbín, country manager for Italy of We Road Viajes. Let's go and meet him. Hello, Íñigo.
So first of all, thank you very much for your time. I'm very excited to introduce We Road to the South Summit panel. So have you ever wanted to discover the world, but have no friends to join the adventure? This is the case for many young professionals, which have no friends to travel with. So for example, friends having different schedules from work or friends going into a relationship. In order to answer this need, at We Road, we've put together solo travelers in their 20s and 30s in small groups of like-minded people and in the same mood, eager to discover the world, meet new cultures, and make new friends, all led by a coordinator. So from this simple description, you might think we're just another digital tour operator. Fair point. All our major competitors, like G Adventures or Contiki, focus on the product itself as their unique selling point. At We Wrote, we have a unique business model based on the power of communities, where our value relies on our tours being life-changing. For us, a tour does not last forever, but a friendship does, especially if it's being built on incredible experiences. And this is how we do it. One, we are not a marketplace, but a tour operator. So our product is built around our unique and decentralized network of local partners, where we're able to build flexible itineraries around the world based on the different moods and perceptions we see from our community. Two, a digital platform. So we have an in-house B2C fully integrated platform to handle the end-to-end booking of our customers. So we don't work with intermediaries, no OTAs, resellers, travel agencies. The We Wrote experience starts and ends on our digital assets. Finally, and this is our secret ingredient, our community of travelers. So we have created the biggest online group travel community in social media. This allows us to be very close to our customers in terms of product innovation and human interaction, which has proven to be so valuable in the COVID times in order to iterate the product accordingly. This is all embodied with a unique marketing approach and tone of voice in traveling, where we have shown since day one only photos of our travels, building a sense of closeness and reality with our future We Wroters. So we are an Italian company based in 2017 and now international, also with offices in Spain. In 2017, we did our first tour in Cuba. That year, we did revenues of 150K. In 2018, we did 2 million. And in 2019, we did 10 million, which are about the same numbers we're expected to do in 2020. We target young professionals in Italy and Spain, which are a combined target audience of 20 million. With an average booking value of 1K, this represents 20 billion in potential market value, only accounting for these two countries where we have proved the model works. So imagine the rest of the world. Our team. So 3 years ago, we didn't exist. And now we are 50 team members and 500 coordinators, which help us fulfill our travel. Regarding our founding team, it was born by Paolo De Nadai, our CEO and founder. He's a serial entrepreneur and of course, avid traveler, which has built 6 companies with total revenues of over 25 million. Erika De Santi brings the tour operator and community building experience, and Fabio Bin leads the digital marketing and technology efforts of the company. As for myself, I fell in love with the company whilst working at Google, deciding to join the adventure to make the company international and change the perception of how young professionals travel in groups. So to sum up, we have a clear vision, which is to connect people, cultures, and stories, in a very bold mission, which is to design and deliver experiences worth living and sharing, rewriting the rules of the travel industry every step of the way. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, Inigo, taking all the extra seconds you can. Imagine the rest of the world, he said. Well, don't imagine it, because We Wrote is doing it. And I see Diego Montes with his hand up in the air. So Diego, as I promised, you have priority. We're gonna fly Diego from Plug and Play Take Center to our screen. You can ask Inigo whenever you're ready. Inigo, remember 30 seconds for your answer. Go ahead, Diego.
Perfect. Thanks, Inigo. I love the enthusiasm of your pitch. Because of COVID, international travel will probably be down like 60% in 2020. I want to know how your products or your destinations have pivoted, and if you're offering like local destinations rather than international destinations to your community of travelers.
Yeah, great question. And thank you very much for your words. Yes, of course. So we've had to rebuild all of our product after COVID. And literally 100% of our revenues in summer, both from Italy and Spain, came from domestic tours. So we built 12 tours in Spain and around 15 in Italy. With basically this summer, we've been able to move 3,000 people around Italy and Spain. So that's been a huge success. Now we are looking to do experience one-day tours around both countries as well.
Excellent. Right on time. Are you happy with that answer, Diego? Anything else? Yes, you're happy. I'm coming back to our virtual jury. Oh, virtual jury, sorry, I have to walk. Yes, if we have time. Do we have time, production team? Yes, we do. Nacho Tovar, go ahead from Iberia. Your question to Inigo.
Inigo, good to see you again, mate. Just one question is, what would you say to those who are thinking that social traveling is not going to get any bigger after COVID?
Yeah, so definitely that's not the reason. I think understanding traveling as the means to really connect with people is something that worked before. It's something that will work again. The only thing that we really need to understand is that we, as a company, we need to put all of the safety measures in place to those connections to happen in a safe environment. So at We Road, we do small groups, and with all the safety measures in place, I think we should be able to do it again in a very soon time.
Good question, tough one as well. No mercy here, Inigo. I don't know if we have time for another question from... No, I'm sorry, but keep your questions, virtual jury or physical jury, for the next startup when it comes. Because now we have prepared a conversation with Catherine Phillips. She's the innovation architect at Heathrow, and she's been invited by Ferrovial. Thank you, Ferrovial. Gonzalo, always think of us. She joined Heathrow Design and Innovation Team in 2018, whose purpose is developing pioneering thinking in shaping future strategies around technology, helping to demystify the future and highlight opportunities, allowing Heathrow to prepare for disruption and the positive and negative impact to business models. So, welcome, Catherine. Here she is. Lovely to see you. Okay, thank you for being with us virtually. I have a quick question for you. Mobility is changing globally, we know that, but at the same time, the COVID-19 means that there's been a big impact in traveling. How can innovation help to reduce the impact of COVID-19 in airports like Heathrow, and what is Heathrow doing in that sense?
So when the pandemic first took hold in the UK and we went into the very early stages of lockdown, my innovation team saw that challenge set out by our leadership of making Heathrow the cleanest and safest airport. And we knew that our skills and methodologies allowed us to support the business to not only recover, but build back better eventually. And so we'd run this brainwriting workshop within 2 days of picking up that challenge, and presented our findings of the innovative solutions that we had discovered back to our leadership, which really kickstarted a series of technology trials on issues such as social distancing, UVC cleaning of kiosks and robots, touchless technology, thermal screening, and rapid COVID testing solutions. The ability that we had in our teams to understand the business challenges and translate them into workable solutions in partnership with our Heathrow operational colleagues has been pivotal. Many of those trials have now become part of larger programs that are an essential part of the recovery of our airport and the wider aviation industry. And I've been working on our COVID testing trials over the past few months, and it's been incredible to see how we've managed to not only learn vast amounts about how the virus works or doesn't work, but how best these new and emerging testing and screening methods might help us and help passengers feel more confident about flying. But more widely, we can see the return of a successful aviation sector will have a positive impact in the economy. And testing has really been crucial in the response to this pandemic, and we believe it will play an integral role in the reopening of borders. And even though lab-based tests have helped a number of countries to flatten their respective peaks, it's quite clear that we need to explore new, innovative ways to deliver tests outside of a lab and at scale.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Catherine. Exploring new and innovative ways to, for the challenge ahead. So I'm sending a big kiss to the UK and to Heathrow. Who hasn't been in Heathrow or through Heathrow at least once in their life? So good luck for the new challenges, and we hope to see you very soon. Thank you for coming. From Heathrow Airport, Catherine, thank you to Ferrovial for inviting Catherine Phillips. We have another conversation. We have a segment or a slot, if you want, organized by Google. And we're going to talk about how startups are bringing innovation to the travel industry. To lead this section today, we have with us Bárbara Ozores. She is, as you know, because I've introduced her, she's in the jury. She's the head of Google for Startups for Spain and Portugal. And this month, Google for Startups Spain is launching Growth Academy, Travel Tech, a new program aiming to support one of the most affected industry by the pandemic. So I'm going to invite Bárbara. Sorry, there was a bit of a noise and mixing around here. Yes, let's go and invite Bárbara. Come on, Bárbara, welcome. Take a seat, because I believe, Bárbara, welcome. She was already at the jury. She's working double today, that you have some guests. So if you'd like to introduce them yourself.
Yes, fantastic. We have Javier Moliner, who is the CEO of Howlanders, who will be joining us, and Noelia Novella, who is the CEO and co-founder of Doing, who are both participants of Growth Academy Travel Tech.
Come on, Javier, don't be shy. Noelia and Javier, feel at home. Would you like some extra water? Because I drank yours before. So if anybody needs water, you won't have time to drink much. There you go. All yours.
So at Google for Startups, we aim to support the startups by bringing them the best of Google, product, experts, best practices. Startups are the agents of change. We truly believe that you're able to move the economy and that you're, in these times of uncertainty, you can bring new creative ways that can definitely help. When the pandemic hit the travel and tourism industry in Spain, we decided to launch a growth academy-focused travel tech, trying to bridge the gap of startups really bringing innovation to help this industry, which has been really hit, and that in Spain it accounts for more than 12% of the GDP, so it's really, really important for the overall economy. And today we're very lucky to have both Noelia and Javier with us, and I wanted to ask you some questions. So in this year, which has been quite a year, what are the main challenges that you're seeing as a founder? Noelia?
Well, first, thank you for having us here and for organizing this program at Google for Startups. As a founder, the most complicated thing is to keep the motivation up and to explain to the team that it's not fair and it doesn't really matter how well they are on UX, UI, on marketing, on communication. It's just a weird situation and we just need to be a very strong team, stronger than ever. There's probably, the motivation part is not that easy.
So motivation, I can see that being quite a challenge. What about you, Javier? What's been the biggest challenge for you?
For us, has been a similar scenario as well. So keeping the team and restructure the team, because the reality is absolutely different from the one before the pandemic. And I will say also a strategy, because we don't really know how long it's going to last, this situation, right? So we have to manage different scenarios and just keep measuring day by day. So
motivation, uncertainty, and what that means for strategy.
Yeah.
What do you think innovation might bring to the travel and tourism industry for the next year?
Well,
why is it so important?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's innovation or dying, right? I mean, with all the layoffs, with all the revenue going down, we have to be more productive and effective and perfect than ever. And obviously, all the digitalization of everything, or all the automations can allow us to keep the growth without having to hire more people or keeping the same team, right? So, yeah, that's...
So being more efficient than ever and helping in that way. What about for you, Javier?
Yeah. My opinion, well, the industry has been like digitalizing for the last 20 years, but there has been no real innovation. So there's going to be a totally different market when this situation recovers, and I think a great innovation is going to be a great opportunity as well for the startups or companies that hit that innovation. So I think many things are going to change, especially for big players and so on.
I definitely agree with that innovation is going to come from the startups and also from the consumers demanding different products. So we talked a little bit about Growth Academy Travel Tech, which is happening this year. But Javier, you were one of the first cohorts that we had. So in a nutshell, what were you able to take from it?
Well, working based on objectives, I think, has been our main take from this campus experience. And well, also being more data-driven company.
Data-driven company, that's always great. And Noelia, you're starting the program now. What are you hoping to get from it?
Well, we provide with certified cleaning services to certain rental apartments. And what happened is that in the cities, everything stopped. So we have to triplicate the locations where people could get the services. But to be honest, we didn't have the time to get to know the markets and all the trends, and that would be super interesting. And also we are working now with different property managers, more in the long tail with less properties. We don't know them that well, so yeah, that will be great, all the learnings we're gonna get from Google.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to help you as you face these challenges. 2021, I think we're all crossing our fingers to hope that it's a better year. In a tweet, what are you hoping to get from it?
We want to be able to provide with certified cleaning services worldwide.
So international expansion, that's quite a goal.
Yep. In our case, we have been always based in this international travel, and 2021 seems that it's going to be also national travel, as has been this year. So what we are looking for is for this product market fit with new tours and activities for local markets, especially States, Australia, and so on. So 2021 is the year for finding this new product market fit for the new reality. And obviously, then we can use that in the coming years.
So fine-tuning, I guess, both things, international and domestic travel.
Yeah.
International for you. I think they're very ambitious goals for next year. And, well, thank you very much both for joining us here today.
Hey, Barbara, we have a few extra seconds, and I was looking at this video as I was listening to you guys, where, allow me to sit here with you, where we can see some of the Google startup residents like Laurence Fontino from Womb Fertility. That's such a fantastic trip ahead of you. A lot of friends, faces that we know. And I was going to say there's somebody that we're missing today, especially we send a big kiss to Sofia Benjumea, the heart and soul of Google for Startup, along with Barbara, obviously. So you're going to be there, guys. It's a fantastic look, Laurence and a lot of friends. So it was lovely having you here. Good luck, good fun. And Barbara, we'll see you soon. You have to go back to your, because you haven't finished working just yet. She's back to her jury chair.
Thank you so much.
Guys, thank you, Noelia and Javi, and obviously Google for Startups. We have to continue. So we're going to with our next startup, startup number 5. This startup is coming from Israel. As you can see, we touch the whole world. I once tried to order room service from a hotel in Yekaterinburg in Russia, in the Urals, in 1997. Not speaking Russian, and the hotel not speaking English, made this challenging, to say the least. But that's a problem of the past. Thanks to our next startup, who enables guests to communicate with their hotel in their native language using their favorite messaging app. Now, how do I say in Russian, I didn't order cabbage and vodka? Until I find out, let's find out from our next company and find out what they do. He's here, Roy Friedman, CEO of Easy Way. Welcome, Roy.
Hey everyone, and greetings from Tel Aviv. I'm Roy, the CEO of Easy Way. We all know the hotel industry. Super old-fashioned and has a lack of digital solution. Now, with the effects of COVID-19, hotels are facing their biggest challenge yet. They need to provide a safe environment for their guests. With Easy Way, hotels can provide their guests with a fully digital journey, online check-in, checkout, payments, and contactless communication throughout their entire stay. Downloading an app is a barrier. Not every guest wants to download an app just for a 3-day trip. With us, hotels can instantly connect with their guests on every messaging app, WhatsApp, WeChat, Facebook Messenger, you name it. All of this in more than 100 languages. The system also allows hotels to create their own set of rules, making it super easy to offer different services to different guest segments, like VIP or first-timers, and so on. We personalize the experience for each guest. That's how we've reached the best usage rate in the market in over 18 different countries. If, for example, a French guest will have his entire guest journey on WhatsApp in French, and the hotel, in its turn, can answer in Chinese, they will use it every time. Well, that's it in a nutshell. Thank you all. See you soon.
Thank you so much, Roy, Mr. Happy Man. He had like a minute extra, you know. He doesn't need any more time. So I'm coming here to see our virtual jury. I miss you a lot, guys. Lovely to see you. So remember, if you have a question for Roy, Easy Way, again, Diego Montes from Plug and Play. Go ahead, Diego. We're going to fly you there. And when you're there, now, your question. Remember, Roy, 30 seconds to answer.
Hi, Roy. Thanks for the pitch. I got a quick question regarding your product in particular. There are many chatbots that are applied to the hospitality industry. So I wanted to understand, first of all, how do you differentiate among all the other competitors? And 2, there are like 2 different approaches. You could be either solving the operational side of the hotel or the revenue generation part. So I wanted to understand that a little bit more.
All right. Hey, Diego. So I'll start with the first question regarding what makes us different or what differentiates us. It's simple, personalization level and fast start, we're able to really start fast with all the hotels onboarding and be able to be totally scalable on one hand. And the second is the highest personalization level in the market, which allow us to achieve those usage rates. Regarding operation versus the other thing, we also always aim for the customer experience. That's what guides us.
Time's up. That's great. Thank you, Roy. Are you happy with that, Diego? He's happy. Everybody's happy here. Why not? Okay, I'm looking at the wall to see if we have any more of our jury virtual jury wanting to ask a question. So we're going to fly from Israel to the United Kingdom to introduce our next startup number 6. The connected and autonomous car is coming, and fast, and it will change the landscape of travelers. We talked about this subject in the Mobility and Smart Infrastructure track yesterday. You can watch it online now or later. The next startup is building a digital ecosystem to provide inspiration and information for car travelers and seamlessly connect these travelers to retails and service providers. Your car will not just drive you, it will take you to the hotel, check you in, and get you a cup of coffee. Wow, can't wait for that. Here to tell us how is Nikita Dedic, founder and CEO of Road Travel. Welcome, Nikita.
Hello, my name is Nikita, and I'm the founder of Road Travel, your all-in-one solution for road trips. The popularity of road trips has been increasingly growing over the past several years. 63% of all Americans took at least one road trip in 2019, and that was before coronavirus. So now, the consensus in the tourism industry is that road trips and local travel are the main trends of 2020. Road trips are perceived to be safer than visiting friends or going on a date. So let's have a look at this beautiful road trip around Iceland. 11 days, 9 different locations to stay, and lots of emotions that you bring back. How much time does it normally take you to organize such trip? Does it look familiar? Visiting multiple websites, preparing some spreadsheets? We at Road Travel have integrated more than 30 different providers of data and bookable services, all on a single platform to make road trips easy for one. So I don't want to go to the boring details, but just looking at this picture, I guess you can imagine that Road Travel is, well, quite ahead of the competition, I may say. So I encourage you to go to Road Travel from your computer or your mobile phone and experience it by yourself. It's just the easiest way to do it. Our business model is based on several revenue sources. First one, we sell the content which travel experts and authors create and place on the marketplace of trips. We receive commissions from companies like Booking.com or Rentalcars.com, and we provide sponsorship and white label packages and software licensing deals to corporations in tourism and automotive. Last year, we won several startup competitions from automotive companies, Volkswagen, Porsche, Ford Motor Company. And early this year, we announced a strategic partnership with the world's first smart device on wheels. We are already working to integrate our road trips into the in-car navigation systems. So you will see the first integrations already live in 2021. Last but not least, we are very proud to be a part of the UNWTO Innovation Network. We became the finalist of the Global Tourism Startup Competition with the United Nations World Tourism Organization. We believe that by developing road trips and bringing more traffic to remote destinations, we can contribute into the Sustainable Development Goals, sustainable tourism. We are building a global ecosystem of road trips, working with tourism officials to enable road trips in their destinations, travel experts to monetize their expertise, and brands. And we encourage everyone to join us on this journey. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'm ready to answer your questions.
Well, he's ready, Nikita. He's inviting us to join him on a journey. And there's no such thing as boring details. What are you talking about? Investors love boring details, especially if there are metrics. So investors here on our jury, please think of any questions. If we have time, I'll be back with you guys. But in the meantime, I'm going to go and see Gonzalo from Ferrovial because he's raised his hand and he has a question. So Gonzalo, your question for Nikita, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Well, first of all, congratulations for this initiative. What I wanted to ask you is, how can you ensure that you are making a kind of an exclusive or unique experience for your customers rather than making it very popular and just getting into a traffic jam with the rest of the users of the app?
Yeah, thank you so much for this question. Well, I would say that Road Travel in the first place, it's a platform. So there are different ways of using the platform. And right now, we're doing a market launch in Russia in a partnership with companies like Volkswagen, MasterCard, the government of Moscow, and we developed very different road trip scenarios depending on the target customer audience and depending on the destination. So the platform is very flexible, and we have our own network of travel experts who take care of the content curation.
Time's up. Thank you. You happy with that, Gonzalo?
Yep, thank you.
He's happy. I'm waiting for a jury to say, no, I'm not happy. Actually, I want another question. Any more questions from our virtual jury on the other side of the room? I'm not walking all the way there. If there's no, I don't see any hands up, so I'm giving you a few seconds just in case. No questions. We are going on to our next lot, our next section. We're going to have a conversation with a very special guest. Everybody here is very special, otherwise you wouldn't be here. He's the Digital Transformation Senior Manager at Accenture Interactive. His name is Dan. His surname is impossible to pronounce. I'm so sorry, Dan. Are you there, Dan? Chiocoyo Montiuro. And I thought Dan, I thought my surname was difficult. My family name is Diez Fuentes with a hyphen as well. But I think you are worse. Here he is, Dan. How do you pronounce your surname? Come on, for everybody to learn.
Happens to me all the time. So, hey, everybody. It's Chocoyu.
Chocoyu. Chocoyu. Now we know
yes.
because Romanian is Romanian.
Correct. Yeah. Its origin is Romanian. Correct.
Excellent, Dan. Chocoyu.
So,
Chocoyu, yeah?
Yes.
My Romanian is as extensive as that. My first Romanian word. Dan.
You pronounce it very well, though. You pronounce it very well.
Thank you. Well, we're quite similar, Romanians and Spaniards. You know that? Yes?
Yes.
But this is
indeed.
not the place
Indeed,
to talk about that. It's not the place. We have just a couple of minutes, so let me go on to a question we have for you from your perspective at Accenture Interactive. Obviously, I'm going to ask you about the travel industry. Dan, how do you see it embracing new products and services given the unprecedented scenario caused by the COVID-19 outbreak? There you go.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for having me in this track specifically because it's very close to my heart. Also, very good to see familiar faces, but furthermore, I think it's great to see so much passion around the transformation of the travel and tourism sector, right? Now, before I start answering the unprecedented context, I think what we need to take account of is that we see right now different levels of demand recovery when we look at specific regions, right? So we have China on the one side, which is highly dependent on domestic travel, right? Where we see levels of occupancy close to the pre-pandemic ratios. Then we see US, again, a very highly dependent domestic travel region, right? Actually never really closed, and that is starting slowly to pick up on the different, let's say, indexes when we talk about occupancy or when we talk about, let's say, flight stats or schedules. And then we have Europe, right, which is again very highly dependent on international tourism, right? And that is struck very hard by the COVID outbreak, right? But all of these regions, and I think the aim of the question is all of these regions share a common opportunity, right? Which is, again, in order to relaunch their activity, there is an imperative, right? And the imperative is to embrace new sets of services and products, right? To reorient the business. And basically with just one aim in mind, right? Transform the whole travel experience, which is something that has become an imperative because travelers, citizens, patients are demanding it right now, right? And basically, in order to come up with a solution to tackle upon this imperative, we as Accenture, we are helping travel clients throughout the world, as you know, airlines, hospitality, or travel services company, right? To take let's say action in this space, and we basically commit together with our clients under four major plays, right? So the first one is embrace digital and the power of digital, basically, right? Throughout the value chain, throughout the customer journey, digital now means more than ever. The second one is around redefining the whole set of products and services. As we say, every business now is a health business, And I think we found good examples right now in the industry, but also embracing virtual immersive content and so on can unlock different opportunities when it comes to meeting and event space, right? The third one is around transforming the marketing models. What we do believe is there are relevant efficiencies that can be found within the structure of the marketing model that is currently operating with. And these efficiencies can then fund the whole growth and demand recovery initiatives that the company may leverage. And then last but not least, I think it's, and it's been said before, it's everything about service, right? So with that in mind, I think I'm very positive around the recovery of the tourism industry as a whole. And I think it's great to see that there are a lot of opportunities that are currently being unlocked, and the travel companies are responding in the right way in order to drive more demand and drive more intelligent demand ahead.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dan. There's no time for any more questions, but you've given us a lot of homework and a lot of points very clearly. So thank you for that perspective. Embrace digital. I keep that message, but all of the others as well. So thank you so much for Dan Chikoyu and Accenture Interactive. Thank you. Hope to see you soon in Madrid.
Thank you for having us.
We have to jump onto our next startup, and we were in United Kingdom, remember, with Nikita from WeRoad, and we're going to travel from the United Kingdom to Spain for our next startups, number 7. Send these guys an email, as you would to a human written in every language, outlining what kind of travel experience you're looking for and when. You'll receive a personalized proposal in no time. Like it, accept it, and done. Booking made. Life couldn't be easier, and they have also incorporated a SaaS, so other travel agencies can use it. Let's hear how they do it from Sergio Orozco, the CEO of Triparade. Welcome, Sergio.
Hi, I'm Sergio, CEO of Triparade. We are here to simplify business travel. Do you know that more than 90% of the B2B market is managed by traditional agencies? Because service is service. But on the other side, some of companies try to solve the travel problem through self-service platform. This technology could make this service faster and cheaper, but introduce new problem into the game, like wasting time searching on a lot of options and poor propose along the way. The challenge is to offer travel agency service improved with speed and efficiency. When we started 3 years ago, our mission was to create the technology that our travel agents could make us 10 times faster than the traditional travel agencies. We did it. And currently, our artificial intelligence could replicate as travel agents. Every day, more and more trips are managed without human contribution. Let me show you. I'm going to send an email like the one you send to the traditional agencies, but the Triparade answer is completely different. In a few seconds, I have received personalized travel option with flights and hotel, all of them complying with my company policies and my personal preference, and only could click in my perfect option. In a couple of seconds, receive a complete itinerary, all of my tickets attached in my personal calendar. As you can see, resolve a trip is a piece of cake. In this chart, you can see our revenue during the last month. When we include a new layer of technology, the same number of people can manage more and more trips. And our artificial intelligence is learning trip by trip to manage trips without human contribution, like in the demo that I showed you. During February, we are generating over 20,000 euros per day, and we manage 5,000 trips monthly. You can imagine how this story continued. Correct. Our billing dropped down and down until today. I'm sure that COVID will be the end for many travel agencies, but not for Triparade. Bad news. During this month, our operation went down 90%, but good news, decreased 90% our daily problems. And during this time, our team put the focus on creating a new business line. Our technology and our artificial intelligence engine are ready to be used to other travel agencies as a SaaS. Since the beginning, we received around 88% operation margin, improving now to 12% thanks auxiliaries like insurance and other. And also, we are going to launch our first SaaS client in Mexico, looking for a new scalable business model. I'm sure we will share good news in a short time about this. Triparade is managed by a solid group of founders and now has over 20 employees. As I told you at the beginning, our mission is to make companies, travelers, and now travel agencies' lives easier. Thank you very much.
Whoa. Excellent, Sergio, right on time. This is not the end for TripRate. We'll see what our jury, I'm sure they agree. If they agree and they have asked any questions for Sergio Orozco, remember, we have several hands. We're going to go with Susana Chu first from Amadeus. Susana, we're going to fly you back to the big screen so you can ask your question to Sergio. And Sergio, remember your 30 seconds to answer. Go ahead, Susana.
Hi, Sergio. Two quick questions. One, are you connected to the traveler profile that takes into account preferences of the individual traveler? And the second one is that we human beings, we want to be offered options rather than just one itinerary. So, have you seen some data around how many iterations of back and forth would you need to actually close a booking?
Thanks for your question. We are using an email integrated with different providers. This is not the first time that I have answered the question. The email is data authenticated and secure corporate channel. Everyone wants to kill it. WhatsApp, Slack, chatbots, and other could seem like a more interesting solution. But in reality, the email is still standing tall and strong for companies. Now and in the future, I think so. The email, wait, what is?
Oh, time's up. Sergio, time's up. Is there any message you want to say quickly to Susana to answer that question? Time's up. You had 30 seconds, but...
I'm sorry, because I'm not sure if I answered the question correctly.
Susana, are you happy with that, or maybe there was a bit of misunderstanding there, or miscommunication?
Yes, I think we probably need to take it offline later.
Well, she wants to pick to you, Sergio. That's good news. Okay? An investor says later, somebody says later.
Sorry, I try again. Sorry, during this 2020, the good news is we are going to create the SaaS. And the idea is to imagine that can tell to their agencies that 50% of the current trips will be resolved by themselves. And the rest of the trips, their travel agents send to offer easy to buy. With TripRate agencies could digitalize and lower the human cost maybe 80%. And now, about your question, we are creating a modular and extensible artificial intelligence engine. It looks like Lego bricks, individual artificial intelligence model per client, and other bricks based on everything learning along our journey. This can be reused with a new agency.
Time's
and
up.
Also new bricks will be created an epic spaces case.
Time's up, Sergio. But nevertheless, Susana, she wants to speak to you later. This can only be good news for you. So bear in mind to call her later, send her an email. Susana, you're happy with that? Despite you speak to him later. Okay. Nevertheless, I'm coming back to the virtual jury because I saw many hands up previously. Could you raise them back again? Because the production team has to see whose hands was up. And me too. But Diego Montes, he's in a run here. Diego from Plug and Play Tech Center, he's going to fly to our big screen to ask Sergio his question. Go ahead, Diego.
I'm curious to understand a little bit more the evolution to SaaS. That's one question. And the second one is, how do you see the future of corporate travel?
Okay, about the SaaS is maybe the similar question that I answer again. The idea is to, with the TripRate, other agencies could digitalize and lower the human cost maybe 80%. Now, we have created a modular and different Lego bricks could change with our companies. Our vision to modernize the sector completely. And then the SaaS is a perfect solution to operate in other countries in an easy and quickly way, because open a legal and tax entities in other countries is tedious and slow. We can choose depending on how strategic is the country.
Sorry for interrupting you all the time, Sergio. But time's up.
It's impossible to respond.
You're going to have to call Diego later then as well. Diego? The thing is, dear jury, you have very good questions, but that's a challenge to answer them in half a minute, isn't it, Sergio? It is difficult. 30 seconds to answer, that's 2 questions in one, and quite profound questions. But nevertheless, sorry, time's up. Sergio, just give him a call. You know, Diego, you have a lot to talk with him. I believe there's no more questions for for Sergio Orozco from Triple H. We're going to jump onto our next section, which is a conversation with Damien Harris. Damien Harris is the founder at Gecko Smart Mobility, a scooter sharing services offering fun electric scooters to share within Barcelona by the minute. He's Australian, but he's Spanish by heart, and he speaks all the languages in the world as well. And I believe he's virtually here. Where are you, Damien? Hello? We're going to welcome Damien Harris. Hello, Damien. How are you?
Hi.
Lovely to see you.
I'm very well. How are you?
Excellent, Damien. Welcome to South Summit. My iPad just gone blank, sorry. But I know the question is, talking about Barcelona. Barcelona has experienced an explosion in the tourism sector in recent years, leading to a huge economic gains, but also some social tension. How do you receive Barcelona's recovery post-COVID as a destination? Is there an opportunity to improve the tourist offering of the city?
Absolutely. I think there's a huge opportunity that's been discovered now because of COVID. I think the recovery is going to be somewhat staggered, potentially slow. Originally, when we first went into lockdown, first Mobile World Congress was cancelled in February, and then we went into lockdown in March. Initially, I thought it's going to take about 12 months, that we would have a pretty bad summer. Obviously, with hindsight now, we've seen we've had a devastating summer, both or across the board and everything connected to tourism in Barcelona. So, and I think what we've seen as well is that the reaches of that tourism impact have gone outside of what we would have traditionally called tourism businesses, of hotels and the restaurants done that. But obviously with the full lockdown, the whole economy has just been devastated. I think it's going to come back, early next year, but not in the beginning. By the middle of next year, I'm hopeful for summer. I have tourism apartments as well. They're obviously all empty of tourists. And you see it on the streets in Barcelona. I think it will come back, but I think we need to be prepared that it's going to be stagnated.
Sure. Well, actually, you said in the past, not a long time ago, Barcelona is Europe's best place to start in sustainability and mobility. Do you still believe that? You have to say
yeah. I mean, the whole world is devastated because of COVID. So I think the underlying factors are still there that make Barcelona a great city. But there's nowhere that's good in this current climate, because of these impacts that have been hitting everywhere. But I think there's still some underlying factors here that bring a lot of opportunities. Crisis is, in a way, an opportunity to reinvent and to launch something new.
Can you give us any trick, any tip, any secret sauce of what you're doing through your business that could maybe other entrepreneurs follow suit with regards of 2021?
The key thing is to make things lean. I've really looked at all aspects and to just cut costs. It's about surviving for long as possible. Just make sure your burn rate is as low as it possibly can be. What can be outsourced so it can be turned off if need be. The fixed costs are the big problem. So you can avoid those, of course, if your team's working from home. Cut your co-working space, cut your rentals. Sign up to things that are can be turned on and off when needed, and can be expanded. And I think there's a big opportunity here of looking at the sustainability as well and relaunching with that in mind. We were able to see during lockdown how amazing this city was, and many other cities. Nature coming back into the city, the silence, the air quality, the water quality, everything was just amazing. And I think we need to remember that when we start bringing things back in, to not just go back to the same negative. Keep the beautiful clean air and the silence on the streets. Hence why electric mobility is so much more attractive.
Excellent. Yes, Damien. Actually, well, you've been quite innovative in your own business because you were renting scooters from your competition. So I guess your message is always to look to the silver lightning behind the cloud. Well, there's a big cloud now.
Yeah, it's a big question as well. When you're looking at starting a business, there's a lot of capital that needs to be implemented. And can you avoid, the next round of financing by changing the business model? So I'm leasing rather than buying those vehicles. And that brings about a big change in my overhead and for how long I can last in a bad climate.
Excellent. That was a way of keeping the fixed prices you were talking about quite low to keep you running. Excellent. Well,
Exactly.
Damien, I don't know if you have any final message you want to send now that we are here together before I cut you off.
Yeah, I think you're pretty good at cutting people off, so I'll be careful. But I just want to wish everyone the best of luck with the pitches and to stay positive. Yes, it's a tough time, but there's always opportunities to be found out there through changing.
Excellent. Well, Damien, keep us posted on your developments and your discoveries and your innovation and your ideas. You're quite imaginative, and we hope to see you in La Nave or in Madrid in South Summit 2021. And until then, thank you for coming.
I look forward to it. Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Damien Harris, that was Damien Harris from Gecko Smart Mobility. And we have to leave Damien to start our third section of this track, which is accommodation and hospitality. And we're going to jump on to startup number 8. It's in Spain as well. We know that hotel managers are redesigning hotels as hybrid workspaces, where part of the hotel staff will work from the hotel on site and others will be working from anywhere, shifting the mindset of how hotel managers see hotels back office. Our next startup believes that hotel staff should use hotel technology to allow their teams to keep their productive working from anywhere. To tell us more, let's welcome Joan Sanz. He's the founder and CEO of ChartTalk. Hello, welcome, Joan.
Hi, my name is Joan Sanz, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of ChartOK. And we have built a technology that allows hoteliers to customize and deploy their own hotel intranet in just 20 minutes. I've been working for the last 10 years in the hospitality industry for hotel management companies and tech companies. And this is how the hospitality operation looks like. This is hard-working people with a lot of technologies, a lot of paperwork, and a lot of things to do on a daily basis. But unfortunately, 75% of the staff do not have access to a desk or a corporate email. Let's put an example of Jaime. Jaime have one email, but he shares the same email with 12 more receptionists at any hotel. Basically, the problem is that hotel technology has always been built for guest communication, guest sales, and guest service, and housekeeping and maintenance. And the main reason for this is that for building ChartTalk is that we have been asking ourselves, what happens with the staff management and productivity? We have built a technology which is staff-focused, that is an internal collaboration software that allows to keep staff motivated, connected, and productive, which only takes 20 minutes to set up with a single sign-on that doesn't require an email, and you can put all of your staff, all your standard operation procedures, you can create tasks, templates, handbooks, and upload files and manage internal knowledge within your entire organization. Our secret sauce is that we are allowing hoteliers to create segmentation, and we have built a profiling per user, per hotel team, and per hotel type. So from a hotel 5 stars to a hostel, we are giving them the tools they need to really become a productive company. I'm glad to say that we have more than 57 accommodations across Portugal and Spain and Latin America with 195 users, and we are generating more than 2,200 monthly actions from creating tasks, replying tasks, uploading documents, creating handbooks, and much more. Our target market is going to be focused first in Spain and Portugal. There are about 24,000 hotels between Spain and Portugal, but about 6,000 of them are being managed by about 1,000 companies. That's an average of 6 hotels per company. And we are targeting first hotel chains, hotel management companies. So this is an amazing target for us. What differentiates us from our competitors is that they are mainly focused for maintenance and housekeeping and concierge and housekeeping. And beside of that, we are mainly focused for the revenue generation team and the hotel management team. And also they charge per user, per type of models. They do not have a flat fee, and they do not allow anyone to sign up from their website automatically like anyone does with a Trello, Asana, or Jira. Basically, our standard pricing model, we have a standard, we have a plus, and we have an enterprise, which is for a minimum for hotels. Our team has more than 20 years of experience in the hotel management consultant, and our board members are coming from teams from eDreams, from legal, and the industry of technology. We're looking for a 150,000 seat round for an 18-month runway to grow our software development team and to reach 15,000 monthly recurring revenue by 2021. Thank you so much, and please help us to digitalize the hotel industry.
Thank you so much, Joan. You took a few extra seconds there, but what can we do? You are a finalist, so not so, I don't want to be so mean. Okay, let's look at our virtual jury. Do I see any hands? Remember to raise your hands. If there's any questions, I can see a jury on the phone. This is live. I don't know if our virtual, physical jury has any questions. Remember, we have to see hands. We had a lot of questions from Susana and Diego. What about my dear friend Sonia Fernandez from Kibo? I'm so bad. Mercetel from NECO, where are you? Yes, we have another one from Abu Qasim, from Josie Angels. Thank you, Abu. And we're going to fly you back to the big screen so you can ask the question directly to Joan. Whenever you're ready, Abu and Joan, you have 30 seconds to answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
You touched on the development team that you're looking to employ. How have you gone about the development to date? Are you outsourcing that, or is that in-house?
No, it's an in-house team. We have a CTO in-house. We have a full stack developer and myself as a product manager right now, mixing the business development and product management, but it's in-house team. And I'm very happy and glad to have this team with us. They are hardworking more than ever, and even more during the pandemic. So we understood that we need this team in-house to keep growing with our next step, which is artificial intelligence and RPA. Thank you.
Next step, artificial intelligence. You heard that. I'm not sure we have any more questions from our jury, virtual jury. I'm not walking all the way there, just in case. I don't see any hands. Production team, I think I'm going to jump onto our next startup. We stay in Spain for startup number 8. Thank you, Joan, by the way. Thank you, Joan and Abu. Startup number 8 wants to modernize the professional tourist accommodation manager, making her life easier so that she can spend more time with her guests and less on reservations. It's all done with highly polished software to improve the customer user experience. Let's welcome Miguel Escobar. He's the CEO of Commodore. Hello, Miguel.
Hi, my name is Miguel. I'm co-founder of Commodore, the guest management platform for tourist lodgings. Let me share my history with you so you better understand the problem we solve. For more than 10 years, I've been helping my family to manage holiday rentals in Mallorca. And I can tell you, to be a perfect host is hard work and involves many repetitive tasks. On average, I have to spend 25 minutes speaking with each guest in every booking. Then I have to be responsive 24/7 due to unexpected delays. And at the top of that, I had to make my guests fill out documentation in order to comply with government laws. Wondering myself, do we really need to sign physical papers in 21st century? And if that management was not complicated enough, now we have to adapt our business to respect social distancing to prevent COVID-19 transmissions. To respond to these common issues in more than 10 million holiday rentals properties and over than 70 million hotels and hostel rooms worldwide, we have developed Commodore, the guest management platform for automating tasks that enables property managers to offer a digital welcome book and automatic communication with the guests, open doors with the smartphone, and do the guest registrations automatically without any boring paperwork. With Commodore, we are helping property managers like Manuel, who hired Commodore to find a solution to comply with COVID-19 measures and found out that digitizing the guest management processes, he can offer not just social distancing, but save more than 2,500 euros per unit per year. And this is actually a good case to explain you how we make money. We have a B2B business model with a simple pricing, one for holiday rentals and another for hotel and hostels. Our competitors are the guest management softwares, and any of them is automating the guest experience completely. And this is actually what makes Commodore unique. We are integrated with some of the major management systems, which allow our customers to fully automate the guest experience without having to hire many suppliers. We come with the team, plenty of talent and the attitude to make ideas happen. In the technical part, we have Roberto with over than 18 years experience as a software architect. And in the business part, we have me with previous experience in finance, planning, and executing businesses since I was 21 years old. We all have together accomplished many things in just a few months. MVP launching in March and more than 200 paying login units during the cease of activity due to COVID-19. Our next steps will be grow the team, launch the product for hotels, jump into the Italian market, and grow, grow, and grow. It's the right time to push the digital transformation of the hospitality industry. Thanks.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Miguel. That was right on time with 6 extra seconds. And coming from lovely Mallorca, the sunny island, grow, grow, and grow. So let's see, are there any questions from our virtual jury for Miguel Escobar? Miguel Escobar from Commodore. I don't know if I see any hands. Remember to raise your hands so I can see you. Well, as you think about any questions, I'm going to look at our jury over there on the at La Nave physical jury. I think, Miguel, you've explained it so well. Go, go, grow, grow, grow. So good luck, Miguel. We'll see what the jury decides today after the round of startup pitching that will finish soon, and see who's the winner this afternoon. And from sunny Mallorca in Spain, we're going to fly to visit our next startup and the last one of this track. I remember I think I said this morning there were 10. I think I made a mistake. There were 9. If I'm not, I think I counted. There's 9, and this is the last one. And we're flying from Spain to the United Kingdom. A hospitality company is much more than a building, an interior, or even a location. What makes it special is, what do you think? This is a question I throw in the air there, rhetoric question. It's people, of course. It's people is the most important thing, and what guests remember is that special touch, that attention to detail, that smile. But to achieve this, a level of service, it requires hiring the right employees, nurturing them, and keeping them. And that's far from easy, unless you use our next startup software. Do you want to join the future of recruiting? Of course you do. So let's hear it from Katerina Satiko, founder and managing director of Workathlon. Hello, Katerina. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Katerina, founder of Workathlon. As a second-generation hotelier, I felt firsthand the struggle of sourcing the right talent for my business. We hire with incredible bias. We skim through resumes, and you know what we end up looking at? Recognizable employers and education. But are these really the signifiers of success? The blue-collar industry is one of the world's largest employer and has had the highest staff turnover rate, with hospitality in particular reaching over 70% turnover. Yet, it is highly underserved in hiring technologies that cater the ongoing change in modern workforce sourcing and hiring. Today, I will take you on the incredible journey of Workathlon. We built an award-winning recruitment solution, enabling employers to finally source, manage, hire, and train the right talent from one single platform. There is data everywhere, so we find it, we organize it, learn from it, and retain it. Then we deliver that relevant candidate job intelligence to the recruiter's funnel. This allows them to begin engaging with the right talent before the competition even finds it. We transform dispersed data into a story, making life-changing connections only found with machine learning algorithms and neural networks. We are a subscription-based marketplace working with over 140 hospitality companies to manage their hiring needs and have grown over 500% on our revenues year on year. Yes, I know you recognize some of these brands because we work with the leading hospitality employers. And this is mainly due to the commitment and incredible energy of our team, a combination of hoteliers, data scientists, engineers, and hospitality professionals, a team of 8 people and supporting mentors who have worked relentlessly with a purpose to enable professionals to be part of the future of work now. We were on track till the COVID virus struck. The hiring marketplace, the blue-collar industry, hospitality have changed dramatically. The demand supply of the hospitality employment has completely shifted. There is now a surplus of talent looking for work, but also a need for cost efficiency from employers. We have been doubling our candidate base with no ad spend by launching a hospitality academy for reskilling and upskilling amidst the crisis. We are adding even more flexibility to hiring periods while building incredible teams within employers who are looking to come out stronger from this crisis. This is our start, but we're not done yet. We are well sourced to weather the storm, and we're on our way to become the only source for accurate, multi-level, detailed analysis of candidate fit in the blue-collar sector. We have been ahead of the curve already, and now things are about to change. If you would like to be part of the future of work, we would love to talk.
Good. Katerina, ahead of the curve. Do you want to talk to her? Do you want to ask her any questions now that is your chance to do so? I'm coming here to ask our panel. We have a question from Barbara Orozco from Google for Startups. Whilst I arrive there, Barbara, you can already ask your question to Katerina.
Hello, Katerina. It was really, really interesting. I loved how you're pivoting with the COVID crisis. One question, how easy is it for you to scale internationally?
Thank you for your question. We've already been scaling so our major employment base is in Greece and Cyprus, and we've started scaling in the Middle East since January. It's going really well. The way that we see the market evolve, because we're a marketplace, is to always keep a constant, either the talent pool or the employers, and be able to match effectively between different countries.
Great, thank you.
You happy with that, Barbara? I changed your surname, by the way, your family name. She's not Orozco, she's Ozores, Barbara Ozores. Sorry, so many names. Can I ask, we have here a question from Gonzalo. Gonzalo Velasco, I'm not changing your name. Adelante, Gonzalo.
Yeah. Just continuing with that previous question, how could you extrapolate this idea to other sectors? How easy would it be?
So recruitment and the way that it works is not, it doesn't only sit within a particular sector. When we're looking at a vertical such as hospitality, what we're able to do is have more granular data into matching employers and employees. The model doesn't change dramatically when you move into different sectors. What changes is that you need the kind of data which needs efficient recruitment, and you need the kind of analysis that you would know to match the two-sided marketplace.
Happy with that, Gonzalo? Are there any more questions on this side, guys? I'm going to quickly run to the middle and maybe to the virtual jury, because this is your last chance to ask our startups, at least in this track, the travel and tourism track. This is the last startup, Katerina from Workathlon. If there are any pending questions, we have a question here. Sorry, I believe Venkat. Yes, Benka, I couldn't see you. Sorry, you were hidden up there. Benka, of course, from ProFounders. This is your chance to fly. Do you want to fly? Come fly with me. Let's fly away. Venkat, your question to Katerina when you're ready.
Yeah, hey, Katerina. Thanks for coming today, and yeah, I enjoyed the pitch. Obviously, I see how you're sort of helping on the hiring side. I know hospitality industry also has problems with retention, etc. Is there anything that you guys can do as a next step to kind of help on that side for the hospitality industry?
So the idea behind the platform started from the percentages of retention that we see in the market. In order to increase the retention that we're seeing in the market, it starts from the beginning of the funnel. How do you source effectively from a very diverse kind of omni-channel strategy so you can get better results, match the results, and then get a better hiring? Then comes the onboarding, and then processes on performance management that would help increase the retention in the hospitality industry.
Time's up. Oh. You happy with that answer, Venkat?
Very much so.
You better be. I think we're running out of time. I don't know if there's any more questions, last questions for our last startup of this track. I have to send a big kiss to our jury. Guys, this is it. There are 9 startups of this track. That's done. The chance and the luck is in their hands and our physical jury's hands. They are going to debate and send their votes. And this afternoon, we'll find out the winner of the travel and tourism track. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Thank you to this lovely jury. Thank you all. Say goodbye to me, please. Say goodbye. please, good luck. It's not easy being a jury. Yeah, and let's say, of course, a round of applause to our jury on the physical side of South Summit here. They're staying with us for a lovely glass of water later because we haven't finished. We have the last section of this track this morning. We're going to have a conversation amongst two people, obviously, at least two people. I'll be there as well. We have Pauline Roux, she's a partner at Elia Partners, and she's being part of our jury. And Juanjo Rodriguez, the founder of the Hotel Network. I believe they are ready. Are you there ready? Can we see them in the big screen? Pauline and Juanjo, there they are. Hello, Pauline, being the jury there and talking at the same time. How did you see the startups before we get into the conversation? Go ahead.
I thought the pitches were great. I'm pretty sure I will get in touch with a few of them after the session.
Excellent. That's excellent news. So I believe you guys have questions for each other, and then maybe I'll join you in a little while. So go ahead, Juanjo, Pauline, when you're ready.
I'd like to kick off to a question with Juanjo. We are living tough times in this industry. You've been raising money recently, and the Hotels Network is already quite a scale-up. How are you navigating through this crisis, meaning especially as a software platform in the hospitality sector?
So thanks for having me. So we provide software for hotels to grow their direct channel. So when the pandemic started, we basically did something that is very within the ethos of the company, which is to focus on the client. And we decided that it was not the time to try anything new. It was just to serve our clients and help them make it through the crisis. And that meant building some short-term elements and features that the clients wanted, having a lot of flexibility in how we were serving them, in how we were charging them too financially. But then the main idea is we focus all of the team, both our commercial team and the client success team, on just serving the client and ensuring that when many of the teams in our clients in the hotels were not even working, that they could still use our product, which they, by the way, needed more than ever, because one of the key elements of the product is communication in real time. So we just focus on the client and forgetting everything else for 3 months straight. And now our view is that we are back to whatever normal means now. But we are not waiting for anything else. Now we are dealing with the reality that we have. And Pauline, the thing is, you guys went through a similar thing, no? Because after all, many of your portfolio companies have probably been affected by COVID. So how does a VC go through a crisis?
Yes, sometimes we forget that VCs go through crises themselves. First thing that is interesting is that actually Elia is 20 years old. So it's been the third crisis we are going through. So it brings a bit of experience. I think what's important in managing a crisis is, and you know that perfectly as a CEO, is to keep a cool head. No panicking, no short-term decision only. So from a deal-making perspective, we haven't stopped making new transactions in this period. We have closed like 7 or 8 deals in the first semesters, new operations. And of course, a lot of our attention was brought to portfolio management and supporting companies. And then it comes to, having priorities and finding out what are the companies that need your support primarily. And from a practical point of view, what did we do? Instead of having, for instance, board meetings every 6 weeks or every 2 months, which is the kind of standard frequency we have, we had weekly or every 2 weeks meetings, kind of squad meetings to help companies manage their priorities. First one was cash preservation for most of them. So trying to help and give support in having grants, public aids program, stuff like that. And then it was more about discussion about how do I need or do not need to reorientate my strategy, my product roadmap in regards of what's happening. So we've been quite active as a sparring partner with more frequency in discussions.
A lot of you might be thinking, why Pauline and Juanjo together? Well, obviously, Elaya Partners is an investor in the hotels network. The relationship between a VC and an entrepreneur and a VC is like a partnership. It's a kind of a Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, Don Quixote and Sancho Panza, fish and chips. So, but it's not easy. It's not easy to have a VC at home. Imagine when it's a foreign VC. So how did you build a strong relationship between a foreign VC and an entrepreneur, or the other way around, guys? How is this partnership coming along?
The fish or the chip, Juanjo?
Yeah, exactly.
Juanjo is the chips, for sure.
Exactly, okay. So, element is we actually wanted a VC with an international view, because we are a very international company from the get-go. In hospitality, as many of the previous startups have mentioned, you are either international or you aren't. And so we already had an American investor, a Spanish one, so we were looking for a, not like compulsory, but it was clearly a plus to have an international experience. And the funny thing in our case is that since we've met with Pauline many more times before we became partners than afterwards. Because afterwards, we have never seen each other physically again.
Well, you've seen it. It's possible. As Pauline said, VCs also suffer crisis. And as you've seen Juanjo saying, entrepreneurs also choose their VCs they want to be with. So this is a lovely partnership. All our love and best wishes for the hotel network and for Elaya Partners. Thank you for being as well part of a jury. See you soon at South Summit 2020. And this is all we have. Thank you. This is all we have for you today. We finish our track, travel and tourism, tourism and travel. Just a few closing remarks. Make sure to follow our primetime session today. We have people like Carlos Torrevila from BBVI, Marcelo Clor from SoftBank. We have Quique Sarasola from Roommate Hotels, dear friend to South Summit as well. Carlos Sainz, the rally driver. Antonio Banderas, Zorro, our lovely Antonio Banderas, our favorite actor, and many more. So make sure you watch the Prime, is every day, but make sure you show it today. You will also be able to watch it online. We also have to, this afternoon, remember the winner from this track, the travel and tourism winner. And what else do we have? You can tune this afternoon or later whenever you have other parallel tracks that were running parallel to this one, the consumer trends, fintech and insurtech, super interesting. I want to say thank you to our entrepreneurs, to our lovely jury, both physical and virtual. Good luck to all our entrepreneurs. Good luck to our juries deciding the final winner of this track. And I'll see you very, very soon. In the meantime, take care and see you at South Summit 2021. Goodbye and thank you.